Hello everybody, today's project is going to be a beanie hat. Somebody asked me to do this, and I'm going to use this yarn that it has a denim look, which is actually Vanna's choice that I got quite a maybe like half a year ago. And the thickness of the yarn is size 4 medium, and we need to use size 9 needles. However, I do want to start with white yarn of the same thickness, and I need to cast on 80 stitches. So here I have casted already on 80 stitches, and right now I will be knitting entire row. And I just wanted to also explain that I wanted to give my hat, it was a little bit out of focus, huh? I wanted to give hat a little bit more interesting look. So that's why I started with white yarn. You can start also, just do the one color. You don't have to do 2 colors if you don't want to. Alright, so just knit each stitch, and I do have some videos on how to do some of these stitches if you're not skilled yet. Here I am almost at the end, and I wanted to discuss one thing, that I do knit in a continental style, as you all know, whoever you know me already. But for the people that are watching me for the first time, you see, the knit stitch comes out exactly the same way, like if I would go and knit your way, which means wrapping the yarn around with my hand. Okay, so it's exactly the same thing. So don't be afraid, following my videos. You just do it your way. Just remember that if I go and hold it with my left hand, the yarn, and yeah, I just grab the yarn with my needle, but it's the same stitch. And last one, and now I will move all my stitches to 4 double pointed needles, so which is like this. Okay, just move it from left needle onto the right needle. Okay, and I will put 20 stitches on each double pointed needle. Then I will connect it without twisting into a circle. So here I am. I moved all my stitches to 3 more needles, and of course the last 20 stitches stayed on my 4th needle, and I am connecting it into circle, and it cannot be twisted in these corners. Okay, and so now what we need to do is, it has to be, so this is the wrong side. We will turn it around like we finished knitting, and we will just keep going like I finished here, and we do need to continue knitting our row right here. Okay, so we need to connect it, and I have this little trick actually, that my last stitch over here that I knitted from cast on, I just go and twist it few times, about 2-3 times, and I put it in here, and it's not gonna be big gap in here. Okay, and I do want, actually I will cut off this later, and I want to start, because I want it only cast on in 1 row, and with the white yarn, and I will start my hat now with the blue yarn, with the denim yarn. And because I took this stitch from here and put it in here, I will knit these 2 stitches together. So my second row actually is going to be purl. So I need to do a purl stitch because I want to do garter pattern around the edge of my hat. So we need to do, and of course I knitted these two together. I purled these two together, okay? And we will do another purl stitch and another purl stitch and another, and we go and purl all around the second row until the end, until this stitch. Here are my last 2 stitches that I am purling. And now the next row we will be knitting. And I also wanted to tell you that when you're working on a garter stitch around, you do 1 row knit and 1 row purl, 1 row knit and 1 row purl. So since I purled last row, now I have to do knit stitches. So I will knit all stitches around all the way to the end, okay, all the way over here. So now this row is going to be knit, 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 and my last 3 stitches knit in the row, and this is my end and this is where I start. I also wanted to say that I already I cut off my end because I'm not going to be knitting with the white yarn anymore, and I made a knot in here, and then later on I will just weave it in. And since we did this row knit, this row was knit, the next coming row, which is this one, I meant last row we knitted, so this one will be purl. We will purl entire row to the end again. Oh, and I wanted to say, if you're doing it the American or English way, you need to have yarn in the front, and you insert your needle from here, right, and you wrap yarn around and knit and pull through, and again, okay? So this is how you would do the purl. You people who knit differently than I do. I keep my yarn on with my left hand, and just, you see, I put the yarn in front and then wrap it and pull it back. That's my way of doing purl. Okay, so purl entire row. Okay, and I will purl last 3 stitches, and that's my end, and I will start my new row. So I will knit entire row, purl entire row, knit entire row, and purl entire row. Okay, so I will repeat these 2 rows 2 more times, and I will, so you see I'm knitting now, knit, 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 knit entire row. Then when you're finished, purl entire row. When you're finished with purling entire row, knit next row, and after that 1 more row purl. And I will see you when I will be finished with these 4 rows. So I finished what I have told you that I will do, which is 1 row knit, 1 row purl, 1 knit row, and 1 purl row. Altogether I have 8 rows, and plus the cast on. Okay, and now I will start knitting several inches. Oh, just knit all around. Knit, 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 knit. All rows will be just knit, no purl. I also wanted to tell you that I was working on this band that is gonna be, I want it to be firm around my head. So I was working on it with size 8 needles. Okay, and I'm gonna be switching to size 9 needles that are suggested by the manufacturer. Also, I work on, I ordered for myself bamboo needles that are 10 inches long. I really love this length, but there are also double pointed needles that are shorter, which are 7 or 8 inches. Okay, so I'm switching from size 8 needle to size 9 needle. Okay, and I will just knit. This way the hat is going to be more loose, but the band around my head is going to be still nice and firm, that the hat is not going to pull it, you know, it will not be falling off my head. So knit, 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 knit. Okay, and I switched from right now I switched from 8 to 9 size needle. I put that away. I take my size 9, second size 9 needle, and I will knit second needle. I will switch from 8 to 9, knit, 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 and you will do this with the remaining 2 needles. After you're finished with this, with the remaining 2 needles. I have replaced all my size 8 needles with size 9 needles, and like I said, from now on all my rows will be knitted with a knit stitch. Okay, so this is my second row that I am knitting, and I am doing a knit stitch. Knit, 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 and I will do about 60 rows, I think. About 60 rows of knit stitch, which should be about 10 inches. The hat would be about 10 inches tall or long. Okay, I want to achieve about the length of 10 inches before I will start binding off the hat, and I will show you how to do that. So what you need to do now is just knit 60 rows. It's really easy, you can do it. Okay, I just finished my 10th row of knitting, which actually this is called stockinette stitch if you don't know yet, and I still have to do more rows. And I just wanted to also say that perhaps I may not need 60 rows. Maybe I will need 55, 56, maybe 50 rows. I'll see. I will see how it's developing, and you just continue knitting, okay, just like I will. Okay, since yesterday I have knitted 50 rows from my band. So this is from here all the way up to here is 50 rows. And as you see, my hat measures about 10 inches because this is a 10-inch long double pointed needle. And now is the part that I will knit 2 together and then knit 1, knit 2 together and knit 1. Okay, so we will start knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together, knit 1. And the people that do it the American or English way, they would have to do it this way, right? Knit 2 together and knit 1 and knit 2 together and knit 1. And this is what you will do all around on all needles, so you will continue all the way to the end right here. And here are my last 3 stitches, which I will knit 2 together and knit 1, and I'm starting new row. This row I will knit 2 rows, 2 or 3 rows, I think 3 rows. So I will knit, 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 knit. So just knit all around 3 rows. So you will go and knit once, twice, 3 times, okay, all around. I knitted 3 rows after I decreased, and also I wanted to mention that I have 53 stitches all around right now. Okay, and now we will knit 2 together each time. So knit 2 together, knit 2 together, knit 2 together, and the American way it is put your needle through 2 stitches and knit them together, and put your needle through 2 stitches in the back and knit them together. And I want you to knit 2 together, repeat it through entire row. And when I have always like 1, I move this one, here, and then I just continue and knit 2 together and knit 2 together, see, I'm used to my continental style holding of my yarn. I am much faster if I can do it this way. Knit 2 together. And I'm back at the last 3 stitches. I will knit 2 together, and since I have only odd number of stitches, I will knit 1 stitch. And now I will knit 3 rows. Just knit, 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 knit all around 3 rows. Knit, knit, knit. I knitted 3 rows, and in each row actually I had 27 stitches, and now I'm ready to do 2 together, decrease by 2 together again in entire row. So you will just repeat 2 together, 2 together, 2 together, and do this throughout the entire row. Oops, that was a little bit wrong, grabbed the wrong way the yarn. So just continue knitting 2 together. And again, my last stitches in this row, and since I had 27, which is odd number of stitches, I have to knit the last stitch. Okay, I'm finished with decreasing, and now I took my F hook. Is it F hook? Yes, F hook. I took my F hook, and I will transfer stitches from first needle, double pointed needle, onto my F hook, and I will put it through the back. I will use my back of the hook to transfer the stitches, and then I will pull the yarn through these 3 stitches, and this is my way of binding off this hat. Now I will keep the stitch that I pulled through, okay, through these 3 stitches. I keep this stitch on my hook, and I transfer these 3 stitches through the back of the hook. I just put it from my second needle onto the hook, and the stitch that I pull through these 3 stitches, I will keep pulling through next 3 stitches, keep it on my hook. See, you have to be like turning your knit around also a little bit. You keep turning it this way to help yourself when you're working. Now I have 4 stitches here, so I will put 4 stitches on the hook from my needle, and turn my knit around so I can take my stitch and the first stitch and pull it through these 4 stitches. Okay, keep it. And transfer last 4 stitches onto my hook from my needle. And again, the same stitch that I was pulling through all these stitches, I will pull through my remaining 4 stitches. Okay, and I tighten it up a lot, make it nice and tight, and make a chain, and make 1 more chain. And I forgot to bring my scissors, so I'm going to cut this yarn off. I will weave it all in. I will pull it inside the hat. I will show you without cutting it off yet. I'll cut it off on the inside of the hat. I will pull it through into the hat. So now I have the yarn on the inside. I will cut it off in here, and I will weave it around here, and I will also weave these ends in. I will make it nice and neat around this edge, and the hat will be finished, and hopefully someone is going to model it for me. If not, then I will go and put it on my head and show you how it looks when it's finished. And this is a beanie hat. So thank you very much for watching my videos. I'll see you another time, and make sure if you don't just like to watch videos, if you also need written pattern, I will post the written pattern on my blog. So go and visit my blog. There are lots of other free patterns on my blog. So again, thank you very much for watching, and see you soon.